Welcome back to our channel. We've moved 5 times in 7 years to other countries and are about to do it again. We will speak about this in today's video because it tested our marriage in a huge way. Because as we often say, we're very different.
Yeah, transitions are in a way very exciting. Of course, I love it because...
He loves it. I don't like it at all. No, I don't like it.
I think for me, it's easy to forget the past.
Oh, yeah.
And just look at the future.
Yes.
Even if I like people, I'm a social person, I make friends everywhere. But I guess I make friends quite quick. So it's easy for me to think, okay, I will make new friends, I guess.
Yes.
That said, I'm loyal. So I remain loyal to my old friends. But anyway, for me, for example, transition, it's, I would say, rather exciting.
For me, I'm a little melancholic, so it's very different. I'm still in the here and now. I want to stretch it as long as possible, and I'm just enjoying every moment because I know as soon as I need to say goodbye, it's going to be very emotional because I'm very emotional. I cry at every transition. And you are already gone. Yeah. You're already like at the new place.
She's very patient, and I tend to run to the next place without really thinking. And
even before going.
Before going.
Like, because now we're in our 6th transition in 7 years. So in the middle, you're getting fresh bread of how we're doing this. And we'll probably talk about it in other, maybe we'll do stories or just like take you in of how it's going this time. But like now, even, we're not moved yet. We don't know when we're going to move. And you're already almost on the brink of...
Yeah, I'm already running. I guess I could already pack everything, even if you don't have a place.
Which he had. He's packed things that I'm looking for now and I need. And he's like, oh, it's already in boxes. And he's already brought the boxes to Switzerland. So it's impossible to take it out.
So on one side, joyful, positive, looking forward.
Kind of a little bit too quick.
Like visionary. But at the same time, there is some stress that I carry. And I think every transition, Shamra, says at some point, or maybe more than once, we can feel the tension that you have on the family. Yeah. And for me, the tension usually are the financial tension. And this is something I have to be very careful so that it doesn't translate first on me in my humeur. My mood, and then that mood just melts on the family.
Yeah, let's make it specific because we've already made a video about our, like when we went on vacation, because there it was also the financial topic. So what does it mean for transitions? Where does it where is it hard for you?
Over the past years, we've transitioned always from the cheapest country to the most expensive country.
I mean, from a cheaper country to a more expensive country.
Basically, we never had a budget that was big enough to sustain the next transition. I think for me, I need to really come in prayer, go to the Holy Spirit. Shamri told me many years ago, go first to the Holy Spirit, speak about your problems, and He will give you a solution there.
Yes, amen.
And if you don't have a solution, which never happened, then you can come and talk to the family.
But even like solution, I think we sometimes have to like explain it because solution doesn't mean there's the money that is here, you know exactly what is going. It's mostly peace.
Yeah, I think solution is mostly peace because when we moved, in every transition we didn't have enough budget to move to the next, but we knew God said it's time to go to the next. And over the years we have learned to say, we need to say yes to what we hear. So He told us go, and we obey to go, and the rest will follow.
Yeah. And the rest will follow. Usually how it was really we needed to have faith in the in-between season. So we're in the in-between season now. And I loved how, like a friend of ours put it this weekend, that really living by faith, sometimes people don't understand, because it's not that it's just like you always have the exact amount of money, like a salary that comes that takes care or like all of your needs that you have. So it's really living by faith of like God adding like every month, or he's like putting on people's heart an amount that they give us, and it's exactly what we needed. So this now is we're moving. Now it comes to the most expensive country, I think. I mean, maybe Japan is more expensive.
Back to Switzerland.
Yes.
And of course, what you were mentioning is like a missionary lifestyle that we have. But I think a lot of us, even if we have a normal job, there is a part of faith when we move to the next. Maybe you move to the next village or to the next city. You don't have to move very far. But then you have to have faith that God is going to bring the right school for your kids.
Yes.
You need to have faith that God is going to bring the right neighbors. And I think there's a lot of things we can either panic and just be super stressed about so many details, or just let it go. And I think this is one of the things that we have learned, not really necessarily, at least me, because I wanted to learn, or I learned it the easy way, but there was no other choice.
I mean, we could stay in that sense. And I think like we were so much more stressed out, even me in the beginning, on our first or second move. But like still, we've learned so much, and we stayed in the process, and God has always provided. But I think this tension still remains, like maybe we would want to talk about apartments, like how that shows up, like we're totally in it. We don't have an apartment yet. And just like speaking about it already shows our differences.
Yeah. So my approach is how much money do we have? What kind of apartment can we get? But the problem is, because it's, as I mentioned, we're moving from a country that is always more expensive. We just don't have the budget.
We never have it before we like move or before we find the apartment.
But still, I'm trying to reduce and take something cheaper. So I will go ways to have, for example, I wouldn't say 3 kids in the same room, but at least 2 kids in the same room, a small apartment, just trying to find the cheapest possible place. And what is great about being married with Shamira, she has a lot more faith. She's expecting God for the best.
But also to do the impossible, because we've seen it so many times. Like his hand on every move we had. He always provided above and beyond. I know he will do it for this move too. So we're just in the middle of it. We don't have a success story yet, or we know already what he did, or like found an apartment. So we're taking you very close into this process now.
And I think over the years, in the beginning was more like, two different people that are trying to find a middle ground. It's difficult to find a middle ground. But over the years we have learned, I know that how she thinks it's better for the resolution, for what's going to happen.
I mean, in this, on this topic. Because like, I think like what I wanted to share too is like what we were speaking on a call. And that's what I really carry for this apartment, is that like really living from the third heaven, from heaven to earth, the first heaven. And we're in this now, where like what we say, like the second heaven is like where the enemy is, where like all the lies come from. And we're here on this earth, on the first heaven, like we could say, with no solution. Then second heaven is screaming on us, you will never find an apartment.
It's going to be too expensive. You're going back to Switzerland. There's so many lies.
And then for me, I'm pulling, because it's written in the Bible that we're sitting with him in heavenly places. So we're sitting there declaring already what he says. So that's really my heart. Yes, we're here. Yes, we hear the lies, but I believe that God has something beautiful prepared for us.
So I still try to feed her with my cheap apartments.
Just today he did it.
But then, I come into agreement. And I just want to encourage you, agreement comes It's like a muscle.
Yeah.
And we didn't, as I said before, the agreement didn't come as easy and as quick in the beginning.
Yeah, and we had so much tension in the beginning. It was like I didn't feel understood. You didn't feel understood, but also about the topic we just spoke about, that you are already at the new place and I'm still holding on to the old. And we try to change one another in this. You try to pull me to the new place and I try to pull you in the process of like just staying and enjoying and just like all of that. And we had to realize that we're very different. And we had to realize that everybody's going through their process differently and not try to control one another, but let one another go.
To be fair, this time, I would say a couple of weeks ago, she said, I had a bad mood. And I was like,
you?
Yeah, remember? You said, and then she said, it's because we went into a transition. But since then, it's been a lot better. But back in the days, for sure, my bad mood, there was really something around the transition, like a tension between us. The worst tension we ever had is when we first left into mission in 2019. She didn't speak to me, I would say, for about 5 weeks. Remember, this was...
I don't even remember that.
It was super tense.
Really?
Remember?
After the transition?
No, when we went on the island, before going, remember?
No.
There was one transition was...
I mean, it was like a hardcore, like the first, for sure, I think like 2 months were like hardcore for me because I like stability. I like what I know. I don't like change. I don't like to leave everybody and just leave. I'm very like emotional in it and it takes all of my energy because I cry so much. That's like also we're very different on that. I'm an internal processor, you're an external one. So for me, if things get super intense, I get even more internal. And then you start to speak about everything that is on. And I just need the peace in my head. So again, very different.
So what is the solution? I think for me, the solution over the years has been Romans 12:2, the renewing of your mind. And renewing of your mind, according to Romans 12:2, it's not a new age thing, like positive thinking.
No, that doesn't help you in like intense times like this.
It's basically sitting, actually it's on that couch in the morning and spending time in the presence of the Holy Spirit. And I realize I have to get my peace from Him to be peaceful on this earth. And I think I can see it's so obvious. If I don't spend my time on my couch in the morning, I start to get more angry. Of course, I'm still a human. I do mistakes. We talk. But there's really a big difference when I spend my time on the couch in the morning in the presence of the Lord.
Both of us, we just like show up differently. We just have our cups are overflowing. So it's not on empty.
Or they are not really overflowing, but we are going to this place for
to fill our cups,
so that they will overflow, according to Psalm 23, verse 5, I think.
And that is like a key for both of us. And then what we've already said is really just like agreeing that unity is not exactly sameness. Unity is not that we have to go through everything exactly the same way, each other pulling each other to the other side, but just like as well letting go and letting each one process how they process. So, and that's like something we did very badly in the beginning that I feel like this transition we do way better.
So what happened very often, we just want to go with our own strength. And I think this is why it's getting very difficult. And over the years, we can just testify, go in His presence. And this is what we want to tell you today. Basically, how to do a transition, go in His presence, be filled, be, in overflow. And then this peace will come over you. I also want to say something that we mention very often when we've seen over the years, the quality of the transition, how you go through the transition. It's going to be the foundation for what's coming next. And I think very often we want to go quick into a transition, we want to control everything, and then we're missing actually a lot of steps that God wants to bring us through
Yeah.
to learn something bigger that we could have learned on our own,
Yeah.
right?
And I think there probably is like, how do you deal with that? Because you're already ahead.
Okay. For me, I have to be very careful.
Yeah.
I have the tendency to dream
Yeah. For the next. Yeah.
Okay, for example, on Wednesday we're gonna go and see an apartment. I'm already
It's
inside.
like, I mean, when you see this, it's already passed. So.
I'm already into it.
Yes.
And I think
Very.
Shamara always say, hey, just take it easy. And I have to remember, do I have the peace in case it doesn't happen?
And it's very funny because I'm really the emotional one, but we're both emotional.
Yeah.
Because I'm not as emotional attached to this place like you are. And I think just because I know, especially in Barcelona, we looked maybe at 30 plus apartments, that I know, even if this will go and somebody else will get it or whatever will happen, it's not ours, because God will hold any apartment we'll need or will provide any finance we'll need if it's necessary.
And so over the years, I still dream. I can already see in this apartment. We're gonna do some fires with some guys here. We're gonna do some barbecues. I can see already, but I've learned to chill in case it doesn't work. And I think before, some years ago, I would be very depressed and actually panicking, because the thing that was, I think, the best would just go away from us.
Yeah.
And nowadays I believe there's something better. So I'm still excited, but
which like we can be, but I think a very important part of like finishing well, as you were saying, has also to do with, like with us, it's a ministry. Maybe with you, it's also a job or your neighborhood or anything else. But for us, what it means in ministry is to honor until we leave to also just like stay in it, to still do everything we've signed up for everything we're responsible for, and not taking shortcuts and already being somewhere else, but honoring our assignment. And that's not always easy, and we have to adjust that. Because as you were saying, is like for us, if we finish well in ministry, which is not always as easy as we think it is, because sometimes we also move because it was difficult.
could be.
Yeah, which is not at all the case in this. We know like God has called us forward to another place and there's a new beginning. But even then, it's very important that we finish well.
Maybe for you, it's this next job.
Yeah.
And if that next job is, you know, if they don't pick you up, it's the end of the world.
No.
And we believe there's another job for you. Maybe it's this place in that school. Maybe it's there's so many things. We don't have to be in mission, but sometimes we need to make space for the peace in all those decisions that we have as a family. And I think this makes a huge difference. And I even heard someone that I can't say because I don't, like someone in my family that is in a transition now, said, I'm depressed, but not clinically depressed, but I'm depressed. And staying in this art of like, it's difficult, I cannot accept it, instead of, and I wanted to say, hey, you know, renew your mind, instead of saying that. And I think very often we start to drain.
Yeah, it's like a vicious cycle.
Vicious cycle that takes us down, because all the negative thoughts that we bring and a lot of worries that actually will never happen.
Yeah, and that's, like what I just want to add is as well that sometimes it just like feels too good for us. We love that feeling, so we stay in the feeling, and we need to break out. We need really faith to break out of there, because to have faith to like that God has an apartment for us, or to have faith that God has a job for you, or the school for your kids, or whatever you're asking for, it's like really trusting God that He is a good Father. And if you don't really come back to this foundation, like see where the root is that you can't trust God fully, because that's where like we really feel our lives are built on. Where now we're like in different like ways, but we both believe God is a good Father and He has the best for us.
Yes. Alrighty, that's amazing.
Yeah. So we want to encourage you, if you're in any transition and it's very intense for your marriage, we understand that. We went through it. And sometimes even this time around, it was hard. Just know that you can't control the other person. You can let him go. And it's important for yourself to fill yourself up with God every morning and drink from his well until you're overflowing. We just wanted to encourage you with that because it's just like another way, but also be very patient in the process. It takes time, it's hard, it's emotional, there's change, and God is in that too. Like maybe I'm talking to myself like for our new transition. God is in it. And as I've already said, like my core song is It Is Well With My Soul. And I'm sure I'm going to play and replay and repeat until my whole family will be like, can you listen to another song? But that's where I like speak to my soul to just say and declare it is well. And same for you, if you feel depressed, speak to your soul, declare over it that it is well with your soul. So we'll keep you in the loop about this apartment, this house, or any other we'll look at.
Yeah, suddenly they will see a video, it's like a new couch. So maybe they're like, oh, they moved.
Yeah, I think we'll like talk about it earlier, even maybe in the stories. Like follow us on Instagram because we're posting sometimes stories about just like the everyday short intro of what we're going through. So we're really looking forward to next week. Until then, bye.